Welcome to the future. Prepare to immerse yourself with the key creators in the world of Web3. It's time to get excited. The Credit Metaverse podcast.
How do you see the future of Metaverse? Where do you see it develop from the point where we are now? Of course, we have progressed a lot since not so many years ago, because Metaverse is, just like you said, a new thing. And I would like to see your point of view. Where is it heading? What's going to happen next? And where it's going to finish? And what is going to be most important for?
Of course. I think the number one thing is for people to enjoy being in the metaverse. You know how many people have like Zoom fatigue? You know, they're just tired of being on Zoom. But when you're in the metaverse and you're, experiencing different events there, whether you have an office in the metaverse, or you have like events in the metaverse, you have a birthday party in the metaverse, or even like other types of events.
Hello, in the podcast series, we have a special guest, Sarah Han, with us. Welcome, Sarah. Thank you for joining us today.
Hey. Thank you so much for having me.
By the way, I would like to start with a short introduction. Would you like to present Sarah and the overall background of yours?
Sure. I guess, it depends on how far we want to go, but more recently, I have been the event coordinator at Splinterlands. I've been hosting bi-monthly metaverse experiences with on the Inverse platform, and it has been an amazing experience just getting people in the community to come together from all types of blockchains and across other community games. And it has become, originally the events was more to celebrate partners of Splinterlands, and now it has become a full-blown convention, like a regular crypto convention, but it's all virtual and it's like a whole 3-day experience. So it has actually grown a lot over the years, from 300 people to 2,000 people. And I've only been working with Splinterlands for about a little over a year, and yeah, it's been a wild ride.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing this part. And I'm sure it was not easy organizing pretty much such events of over 2,000 participants.
Yeah.
It was a multi-day event. I'm actually familiar since I participated in a few of them. And you did really a great job. You were always there for everyone. Organization was top level. And I would like to ask you, did you have a previous experience before this event? Did you have a previous experience in organization of such a big scale events?
Sure, yeah. Before I joined Splinterlands, I was working just as a volunteer as part of the Inverse team, and Inverse is the name of the metaverse platform that Splinterlands uses to host DigiCon. So I kind of had like my hand on both sides. So I was volunteering in the metaverse already, and Splinterlands needed somebody to manage events in the metaverse. So it kind of married together, and it was just an easy transition. And I still actually part-time I do work with the Inverse team, so I do have like a little bit of like access to like admin tools and like other features and stuff that I can test out. So I do have like a little bit of background when it comes to what the newest features are and things I can bring into DigiCon. So that I was blessed to have both roles at both companies, just in that sense. And before, I think like just the metaverse in general was a very new field, and I was very interested in it. So that's why I decided to volunteer, because the team is very small, like less than 10 people on the team for the Inverse team. And at the time when Splinterlands was in need of my services, they were about the same size team too, even though we just like grew exponentially over the past year, which is very amazing. So
Thank you for sharing this. By the way, what is your experience, if there was any previous experience with Web3 environment, with blockchain, crypto? Maybe you could share us some more details on this part.
Yeah, I consider myself a noob in in Web3 and blockchain because well, I have been working in it for over a year, but before that I was doing traditional events. I was doing marketing before that, and then prior to that I was doing a role in finance.
Amazing. So you have quite wide experiences. By the way, could you tell me a little bit more from your point of view how exactly the conventional companies, for example, could benefit from metaverse experiences and events?
Well, the number one thing is, especially during the pandemic, right, when nobody could meet in person, meeting virtually became like the number one priority, and that's the reason why Zoom took off, right, and a lot of other platforms, and this became important for in the Inverse team, as they were already developing something that's like a second life platform for people to personify like avatar and have him walking around in a virtual space. And the reason why the Inverse team focused on having a metaverse that had templated buildings, it was to kind of reenact what it would be like in real life. Like, if you have a convention, you have a big convention building, you have exhibit halls and stuff like that. So it was designed for people to translate IRL events into the virtual space. So I think that was like the main like important thing about developing that. And it was more personal, like, because when you're with Zoom, maybe you don't even want to show your face, like, and everybody knows in Web3 we don't even want our information to be like our face or like anything. So having like a pseudonym and then an avatar, and then being able to experience the space, it was more freedom, especially for people who are, let's say, like, you're an introvert. There was like a way to experience it for everybody. You didn't have to have your you could have your video on if you wanted. You could share your screen if you wanted. There's like a lot of freedom to experience the space no matter who you were.
Amazing. And how do you see the future of metaverse? Where do you see it develop from the point where we are now? Of course, we have progressed a lot since not so many years ago, because metaverse is, just like you said, a new thing. And I would like to see your point of view. Where is it heading? What's going to happen next? And where it's going to finish? And what is going to be most important for?
Of course, I think the number one thing is for people to enjoy being in the metaverse. You know how many people have like Zoom fatigue? They're just tired of being on Zoom. But when you're in the metaverse and you're experiencing different events there, whether you have an office in the metaverse, or you have like events in the metaverse, you have a birthday party in the metaverse, or even like other types of events, I think the experience is the most important thing. On the baseline, it's people being able to communicate with each other. So as long as that stays like the main focus, I think being in the metaverse and developing more tools and experiences in the metaverse is going to go very far, because I already play a lot of games. I'm already at home. I don't have to go outside. Even during the pandemic, I went to a concert in the metaverse, like a virtual concert. And even at DigiCon, we had DJs come in and they play sets there, and people are just enjoying their presence in the space. And not only is it flexible for everybody, right? It didn't even cost as much as having a real venue either.
That's amazing. And in regards to potentially having VR sets for everyone down the road, do you think we will go in this direction, or we will still stay in this kind of from your PC logging in through the browser, or do you think it will go more specialized and everyone will kind of must have, just like now, must have a laptop, must have a smartphone? Will the VR set become a must have as well very soon? What's your thoughts?
Even for me, like when I put on a VR set, I feel dizzy. I don't know like how like other people feel, but even the concept of experiencing things in the metaverse is a little bit new. So having people start to like, you know, put on like the VR headset and like try to experience and calibrate everything is still gonna be like a foreign concept. So I think it will take a little bit of time for it to be adopted.
Amazing, good points. And by the way, since you said you're relatively a noob in crypto, but I would still like to see your point of view in regards to the current market situation and what's happening at the moment with a little bit of bear market.
Yeah. So I was actually I was hesitant to like host DigiCon during a bear market because, well, everybody was just struggling, right? To my surprise, you know, a lot of people in the community showed up, and not just because they like DigiCon, or not just because they like me, but it's because they want to feel strong. They want to represent themselves towards the community and show people where they are, despite all of us struggling in the bear market. They are, you know, saying, hey, we paused a couple of things, but I'm showing up. I'm telling you where I am now. Here's what I'm offering on the table, despite all of that's happening in the economy. So I think that was like a very important aspect of just seeing who is representing the Web3 crowd. Is it the people that you see on the news, or like is it more of like the actual people that are running everything, or hosting their own projects, or working together in teams that are motivated to, you know, survive this crypto winter? I think that was it's a very like nice and personal experience at DigiCon, because you get to see developers, artists, executives come in there. They'll have like a talk like during our live streams, or they'll host their own events and they talk to their community. It's a very close thing that they have with the community, so that they can show up, they can say, hey, this is me, I'm here, I'll tell you, like, you know, what I had for breakfast the other day, and or if I lost sleep because I was trying to develop something. So I think it's a very valuable experience, and the important thing that people are scared about with crypto is transparency. So I think when people come in and they see all these projects that are presented here as like exhibitors or sponsors, they feel like, oh, I can trust these guys. Like, they're always like hosting like a town hall, and they're always hosting like events where they answer all these questions from the community. They, you know, they're always there. And I think having that voice and people in the community knowing that they're being heard, I think is very important.
Amazing. By the way, since we already saw that, as you said, maybe it didn't affect as it was expected, that bear market would took its piece and that we would have less visitors, less exhibitors, but actually it was not the case, right?
Yeah, we clocked in at over 1,200 people.
Amazing. So there was a slight drop in attendance, I would say, right? There was a slight...
like at our highest, we had over 2,000 people in the event that happened 2 events ago at DigiCon 10. We had like over 2,000 people. But
DigiCon 10 was
1,000 every time. It's easy now.
Amazing. So DigiCon 10 was 4 months ago, right? Approximately.
Yes, I think so.
So it was not literally on the peak of the market, it was actually later. So we can say market situation kind of does reflect a little bit, but still is not crucial. It doesn't follow exactly. So pretty much we can conclude that maybe Metaverse and all these type of events will not be directly, let's say, if the crypto goes down, it's not going to be completely die off or something, or be on the hold. Events will continue, Metaverse will continue to live, have its customers.
Yeah, it's not going away. I don't think it's going away.
Perfect, amazing. And I would like to hear your favorite Web3 experience up to date. Like, it can be anything. It can be event, it can be something, some anecdote from the space.
I'm a little bit biased. I think you could already tell, like, I think one of my favorite things in the Web3 space ever since I entered last year was just experiencing what everybody in the community was like, because I wasn't familiar. I was like, oh, if I get into crypto, I'm just gonna turn into one of those crypto bros and like just go ape into the next project after project, and like just be excited to talk about all these things, like sound like I'm all crazy. I'm like, don't worry, this thing's gonna pop off. But I think I've been able to meet like real people developing real projects, and I think that was like a very interesting thing for me, just so I could meet all these people. Like, oh, what do you do? Like, is it is like your main thing to support your family, or are you doing this on the side? Yeah, I think that was I think that's one of my favorite things. Not only that, like joining the Splinterlands team, is that they attract awesome talent and people who fit their culture, and I think I fit in that culture. Like, it was just so seamless, and I still love all my teammates at the Splinterlands team, and I'm very excited just to stay a part of the community.
Amazing. And what are your future plans? Like, where do you see yourself coming down the road?
Well, hopefully, like, we're out of this crypto winter. Right now, I'm working on a separate venture. I'm trying to start a separate string of events in the crypto space, mostly with the Wax fam. They've been encouraging me to, keep the energy going. Like, I know everything's tough, but like, we're all gonna support each other. So I think that was very heartfelt, and I'm very thankful for the community to be supporting me, especially after like getting laid off recently.
Amazing. And what would be your biggest dream for the future, for overall the space, and how you see the future for?
I do want to see more Web3 tools developed in the metaverse. So let's say like you walk in the metaverse, you go visit a booth. When you step into the booth, you already get a POAP, or you step into the event, you get a POAP for attending the event, or you get already automatically entered to win an NFT, and then you get a notification that you won something. I think more engagement tools for people who are experiencing the metaverse would be really nice, and like seeing actual value. I do want to see something like a marketplace where creators can create their own thing and then sell it to people who want to use it in the metaverse. I think having that kind of freedom to create different assets and then selling it would be great for creators. I would also like to see the metaverse being more accessible. So currently it's very accessible in terms of you only need your browser, you don't need to download anything. So I think if we did implement VR or anything else, they're currently in beta for mobile, but if we create anything else, I think it should be accessible. You can choose if you want to do VR. You don't have to do VR. I think that would be important. I think there needs to be a better onboarding process, because people are scared. Like, I don't know what the metaverse is, and like, is it gonna like steal my data or anything like that? I think there needs to be, just like with Web3 technology and blockchain or crypto in general, or even NFTs, like there needs to be a way to better educate people. Like, hey, you buy digital goods, it's almost the same as getting an NFT, or just the wording scares people, and I think we need to better educate each other on how we present to people who are coming from the Web2 community. So I think that needs to be a focus, so that implementation for these tools would be more seamless.
Very good points. And do you think that down the road we will continue moving in the direction of having multiple metaverses which are not interconnected, or will we start seeing actually complete interoperability between
I wish.
ones?
See, this would be amazing. Let's say I have an event in this metaverse, and then there's a portal that goes to another metaverse, and it's like a completely different system, but it's not going to change much on your end, but it's like developed by somebody else. I would be amazed, like, for people to have that kind of flexibility. Like, I don't want to. I just want there to be one or some contracts on the back end that, like, it verifies who I am on the blockchain. I can jump into any metaverse that I want, and I don't have to create another username, like set up another profile. Everything will be able to port over. So I think that would be amazing if we could do something like that, because currently right now there's multiple metaverses that you can experience, and you have to kind of do the whole process again, right? Like, create your profile, and then like create your character, and then like experience how to use it, what are the buttons, like how do you move around. It's a lot, like.
Yes, you're right. And also maybe potentially we could consider metaverses as being layer 0, and then having on top of that layer 1 applications, which could be then introduced through portals where we have various metaverses where user can simply enter the experience, let's say this special app which launches once you enter the portal. And this could actually also help towards this interoperability.
I think eventually, that would be, you would need like an application, especially if you wanted to do more more detailed objects inside of, and environments inside of the metaverse. You would definitely need like a better processor, or like have the app downloaded so you can adjust graphic settings and stuff like that.
Equipment, pretty much. And in regards to technology goes forward constantly. If you would tell us 15 years ago what we will be doing today,
I cannot tell you that we would be here.
Of course. And pretty much we have zero idea of what will be possible in 10 years. And just like nowadays, everyone have smartphones. Even in pretty much lower budget countries now, pretty much everyone have the phones and smartphones. So pretty much down the road,
the trends are what the general user will look like. But you can't time the market, you can't time a variety of other factors, but you can stay motivated, and you can ask the community what they want.
Correct. And we are also seeing the trend of pretty much how important in everyday life the devices are actually, and this virtual life, whatever you're doing, working, you're doing something else, you're still online, you're spending your free time, entertainment part of your free time. Again, pretty much more and more people are actually exercising all those things online. And I believe that this will continue as we see even more and more possibilities within this online presence. But of course, we should not forget to enjoy real life as well.
That's you. Oh my gosh, don't forget, you're a human being. You need to get up, you have to eat, you have to eat, sleep, poop, I don't know, like you have to do regular human things. You can't stay all in the metaverse or all online. So there has to be a balance.
Agree. And by the way, Sarah, would you like to say something else to us before we wrap up for today?
If you guys would like to find me, I am on Twitter. It's at the Waffles Kitty. So if you find me on Twitter, that's where I am. I don't know how long Twitter's gonna be here. Everyone keeps saying something like, "Oh, you should join Hive," or "You should join all this other stuff." I haven't figured it out yet. But I'll be there for now.
Amazing. We will also share then your Twitter so that our listeners can actually find you. And I would like to thank you for joining us today. It was really amazing to talk to you and to learn a little bit more about you and about your views on overall situation, environment, metaverse, events, and pretty much I wish you all the best down the road. And I hope we will see each other again soon with some new great updates.
Yes, 100%. I agree. I'll let you know.
Perfect. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you so much.
we bring you essential conversations with the key creators of the new world of interaction and connection. Remember to subscribe so you don't miss a thing and join the conversation. See you next time on the Credit Metaverse podcast.